causal connection established too much time spent on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, are growing up less rebellious, more tolerant, less happy, and completely unprepared for adulthood.
Does this all look familiar to you? Mindlessly scrolling, just wasting any time you have. I recently watched some documentaries about this social media problem, and it got me thinking, what's the best way to manage this? Let's start with the flaws. The major issue with this problem is that most of the platforms don't want you to leave them as quickly as possible with the best information they can give you. Instead, they want you to hook on their platform and spend the most time on them. The tool with what they reach this is the recommendation system, which suggests you videos based on your past behavior. For example, if you watch some cooking videos the other day, the next day you open up the platform, you will be suggested with a lot of cooking ideas and recipes to try out. The big problem is not with the fact that you end up wasting a lot of time watching, for example, cooking videos, but because of the internet doesn't have any kind of censorship, anyone can upload any kind of videos onto it. For example, me with my preachy videos that I upload. You can fall into these rabbit holes, which are chains of videos in a certain topic. But if the certain topic is based on misinformation and it is misleading you into a bad way, then here's already the problem, that you change your whole personality based on the recommendation system, because it can't decide whether an information is right for you or wrong, but it can even decide what's true or false. Okay, we know that there's a lot of misinformation all around the internet, but it can also change your mind unconsciously on how you view things. For example, I watch a lot of transformation videos about people losing, for example, weight or just gaining muscle. Now, these are mostly 10 minutes of a montage of a 1-year progression. If you only watch these 10 minutes, you would think that unconsciously, of course, that it only took 10 minutes, because watching it was easy. You think that if you try this progress out, you will get the same kind of results in the same kind of easy way that was when you watched it. When you start a new habit, you get this lack of patience if you don't get the same kind of results that the person had in their video. This highly polished thing that you saw gave you false expectations on how things work out in life. Big changes don't happen overnight, especially not in a 10-minute montage. You don't saw really what happened in the person's mind, how much mental capability it took to get the workout done each day, waking up, for example, earlier in the morning. Instead of leaving the progress, they tried to do it, and these are the only ways you can get exponential results in a longer amount of time. Now, here's another problem. Imagine yourself, you have 52 friends, and you only get from these 52 friends information from your social media feed. Each friend goes on a vacation for 1 week throughout the whole year. 1 week, 1 vacation on a friend. Now, anytime you open up your social media feed, you will always see someone who went on a vacation that is not you, and you feel stuck because of it. This all breaks down to the fact that we get too much information to our face, which can be processed with this unawareness that we have. The only option is to raise awareness on how you can change the view on how you look at social media. In the next minutes, I want to show you some of my ways how you can change your habits to only get the best out of social media. I want to say disclaimer because I'm not a saint, and I even fell to a lot of these rabbit holes because I watch a lot of content all around the internet. The problem only occurs when the majority of your time is spent with this time-wasting habit. The biggest step we can take is to get the most knowledge on how these platforms work. I would compare this solution finding to the drinking problem. It's not about that drinking exists, but if you basically don't know how it is affecting you, then you're screwed. No question, the biggest step you could take is to log out from every account you have on the internet. But there's always an option for quality over quantity. If you can monitor your behavior to get the most amount of quality hours you spend on social media usage, you already took some steps in order to avoid these traps that I already mentioned. On the Netflix movie I watched, I saw a good idea to get the most amount of quality time there. You should ask yourself how much you want to spend on social media or on your phone. If you have this time period in your mind, then you can check always the screen time to see if it aligns with your expectations. And if it's not, you need to work on it to reduce this time to the amount that you set in your mind. As everything gets more and more digital and because of the environment, everything is almost on the internet, I think it would be important to get a subject for the young students about how to manage your life in relationship with the internet or social media usage. Early on, if you know how it affects you, you can already battle it in a more efficient way. Future kids, in my opinion, should have a clear understanding of what's happening all around the internet, no matter how ever-changing it is. They should get a mental guide and an ethical guide on how they can operate on the internet. Besides these informations, they should get a guide on how to use everything on the internet to their advantages. I also want to mention that I have a lot to thank for the internet, especially YouTube, because everything you see here in relation to filmmaking, like audio and video editing, color grading, and so much more, I've learned it here on YouTube. I hope you found something valuable in this discussion about the internet. I just wanted to share my thoughts because these movies inspired me to share these. If you found this video useful, I highly recommend you to check out my other ones about this conscious living. But to not steal your time, just save it into a playlist so you can watch it later. And you don't want to fall into the rabbit hole of my videos. Thank you for your attention and much love.